Okay, hello everyone. How you doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Mastery by English podcast, where learning the English language just intersects with fascinating topics and ideas from different spheres of life. Okay, we try to introduce some really fascinating, interesting, kind of probably I don't know, like very curious concepts and topics from the worlds and the fields of psychology, but also, philosophy and science, the world of like fitness and health in general, topics like relationships, success and failure. So a variety of really, really fascinating topics that are aimed to have you speaking and really impassionately embrace learning this language. Okay, so here in this course and this podcast as well, we are not using like English as an end in itself, okay, but just a medium, okay, just a mere means towards self-improvement, growth, and hence mastery. Okay, so in today's lesson, we're gonna go through one of the exercises on Unit 7, which is called Love in the Time of Newspeak, and it's it's about relationships. And well, so far we have addressed different ideas or different sections or different topics, okay, within the broad topic of relationships. We have spoken about dating, online dating, the game, if you know what that means, also infidelity versus polyamory, cheating, toxic relationships. And in today's lesson, we're going to talk about, well, the reason why sometimes romantic relationships fail. And we want to explore, okay? We will explore not only why those relationships fail, okay? The reasons might vary for everyone, of course, but especially what to do in the event of a breakup, what to do when you have been dumped, we have been dumped by someone else, and what to do, how to build yourself up, how to fix yourself, and how to bounce back from a breakup, what to do when you're heartbroken, essentially. And today we are going to, let me show you the unit itself. Kidoki. Yes. We are doing this unit, okay, Love in the Time of Newspeak. And again, we're going to go directly to exercise page. It's actually page 200 and this is the section that we are dealing with, bouncing back from breakups, fixing relationships, and growing and maturing from relationships. So the unit is introduced by this really fun quiz, the questionnaire. And this question is titled, How Good is Communication in Your Relationship? Okay, and it says, answer the following questions in your pair, decide which of the options given reflects your opinion best. Okay, as we go, I'm gonna do it as a student, okay? One, you and your partner have been going out for a couple of years, but haven't lived together yet. He or she throws out the idea of shacking up, which means like living together. But you're not sure, as you really cherish your independence and having your own space. What do you do? A, maybe he or she is right. True love is about compromising, and our relationship will really flourish, thrive, prosper, okay, do well that way. B, you give in and accept trying it out, yet unwillingly, reluctantly. Time will tell if that was the best option. C, I give it some thought and write a decision matrix with pros and cons of living together, and whatever option wins will be my choice and I will stick to it. D, I will try to dissuade him, her. Maybe we are doing so well for not living together. Okay, if I had to answer this question, for me, it would be very clear, okay, very evident, okay, I would choose D. Because not only do I cherish my independence, okay, but I don't want to burden anyone with my own, kind of like routines, idiosyncrasies, habits, and bad days too, okay? I'd rather just meet my partner whenever we really feel like seeing each other, okay, just to give my best, and so she can give me her best, and that is it. Like, you know, I'd rather have that kind of relationship, and, you know, like really look forward to the presence of this, the company of this person, and make this person look forward to my presence. Okay, not having to tolerate or put up with each other, if you know what that means. But of course, that's going to depend on your own personal circumstances, as I guess that, you know, the majority of the people, the default option for the majority of the people is just shacking up, living together after a couple of, you know, of months into a, I would say, steady relationship. And I think that is a good you know, option, especially if you're kind of like just testing how this relationship is going to work out. And of course, if you're planning to have kids, it makes no sense at all just to live, you know, together apart or separated. I mean, especially if you have, of course, if you already have kids, I mean, the best option for those kids of yours is to having both their parents, so long as their parents get on well with each other, of course. But in my case, yes, it would be D. Okay, I have been, you know, living on my own for almost a full decade now, and it's a lifestyle that suits that kind of like option suits my lifestyle. Okay, and that is it. Okay, and that was exactly the reason. That was the exact reason why I actually ended up breaking up with an ex-girlfriend of mine, because at some point we had been living separated. It was like just lived something like half of, you know, 500 meters away from each other. So it was a very convenient option. But at some point she was insistent that we kind of like go and shack up and live together. And I was not sure. Okay. And I was not sure. Okay. I was kind of very reluctant to do so. But I was, you know, for the sake of the relationship, I was willing to compromise. And thank God I didn't do it, okay? Because first of all, I would have done it very unwillingly, okay? It was not something sincere at all. And secondly, because, you know, had I remained in that relationship with that girl / woman, living together in the same space, well, that would have been a recipe for disaster, for sure, okay? I mean, like, there was no point in living together, okay? That would have only made things worse. And, you know, so that meant the end of the deal, okay? And I'm happy, okay, that turned out to be that way, because had I remained again in that relationship, and I would have been a very, very unhappy individual. She would have been unhappy too. There's no need to be unhappy. Now she's happy, me happy, everyone's happy. Next question. Your partner has let herself go quite a bit and has gained 10 pounds in the last year. Nothing irreversible, which cannot be undone by getting on track again. But he or she resembles little the person you fell in love with. What would you do? A, what do you expect? Beauty fades away and true love lies inside. I love my partner anyway. I would roll with it. It's like I would accept it, okay? I would drop some hints, like I would give him some signs, some signals, buy her a gym membership, sports shoes, withhold sex, not have sex for some time, just to see if she gets them. See if you can beat them, join them. I would strike back by letting myself go too. D, I would have a conversation about the issue and suggest that he or she gets back in shape. Though applied one. For me, I would be D, okay? But again, it depends on your attitude towards, you know, what your priorities in your relationship, okay? But for me, it's important because for me, it all depends on the person, or what the person you fell in love with was and looked like as well, okay? I know this is something that is kind of, I don't know, it's almost contentious topic, okay? But for me, it makes sense. Like, if you fell in love with a person that looked in a certain way and had some sort of traits that you found attractive, their physical appearance being one of them, or the attitude towards taking care of themselves being one of them, I think that, you know, one of the reasons why you fell for this person was probably because of that attitude, okay? So if this person, like, you know, goes through a complete U-turn, okay, and turns into a lazy, inactive, you know, kind of like, you know, slothful, undisciplined, gluttonous person, probably you're not going to like that version of the person you fell in love with, right? And I know that this might sound a little bit, kind of complicated. It's a topic that sometimes for some people for whom the idea of doing the slight, okay, physical exertion sounds like a complete anathema. That's going to make them defensive. Like, it's like, well, you don't like me the way I am, whatever, a beauty lies inside, all this kind of like hogwash, all this kind of like platitudes about like true beauty lie inside of whatever. I don't subscribe to that kind of mentality. And for me, like we're talking about 10 pounds here. Okay. So we may all have experienced this periods in life, or we might have gone through those periods in life where it is complicated for some reason. We're busy. We have just become, we have like started a family, we have little babies or whatever, and so it's complicated. It's going to be complicated just to get your workouts in or whatever reason. Fine, I respect that. But so those are moments that you would kind of like just try to compensate for that or whatever. So in the end, after this complicated period, it only takes you a couple of weeks or months even to get back to baseline. Okay, but 10 pounds here, we are talking about the work of consistency, because that's kind of 1 pound a month. Okay, and so that involves like eating a lot and not doing anything. Okay, and so if one of the things you appreciate about this person was the ability to, or the attitude towards making you feel attracted to her, okay, or to him if you like men, well, I think that should be preserved. Okay, I understand that for some people this attitude of mine is going to strike them as shallow, superficial, childish, immature, even selfish. I don't care. It's like, it's something that is important for me, and I wouldn't do that to the other person, because for me, like, just changing completely is like, it's like being super nice towards person, being super friendly, super generous, super thoughtful, considerate, and then turning into an asshole, and I think that sometimes that is a tendency, that is a trend, and that is something that usually happens, in many couples. Okay, that when they want to kind of like impress a person, they want to make a person fall for them, they're going to show their best, they're going to appear, okay, in the best light possible, they're going to try to, look attractive, look funny, like be funny, be generous, okay, be super nice, have a good sense of humor, okay, dress well, whatever. But as soon as they feel that they already have them, and this person, kind of like they have already, kind of like they have already, they are already involved, okay, in a personal romantic relationship, they feel like they no longer have to impress this person, okay? So they can let themselves go, be lazy, show their true, kind of like, inconvenient, emotionally incontinent, lazy, nagging side, okay, and become a total pain in the ass, okay? So I don't think that should be the, I don't think that should be the default option by any means at all. Okay, so that is something that is important for me. So if a person is like that and doesn't have the need to work for the relationship and for the, I would say, attraction component of the relationship, I wouldn't be interested. Okay, and in fact, that would be a deal breaker. 3, your partner has been terribly busy lately and completely forgets about your birthday. You used to do something together special, but unfortunately not this time. What do you do? A, that's life, nothing to make a big fuss about. We'll make up for it next time. Okay, no big deal. B, I will be in a sulk, like angry for a couple of days, just to see if they get why I'm upset, what she gets or he gets. C, I will just bring out the subject and suggest that we go out and enjoy ourselves, if not exactly on the given date. D, I would be worried and I would have a conversation about their changing attitude about work, and as it could be detrimental to our relationship. I think I would be upset. Okay, I'm not going to lie here. I would definitely be upset because I think there's only so many days that you have to remember throughout the year. Okay, there's like some remarkable, important dates. You have like Christmas Day, you have Christmas Eve, you have, I don't know, whatever day is important. But one of those dates is definitely your loved ones, your mothers, your your partners, okay, your siblings, birthday, okay, and it shows that you care, you care about them. It shows that you're willing to please them in any sense, okay, and it's a sign of thoughtfulness and consideration, okay, and especially in this day and age, okay, today we have like many options just to keep us informed about those important dates with cell phone, smartphone notifications, okay, Google Calendar, I guess, okay, or you go on Facebook and you see, oh, holy cow, okay, it's my baby's birthday, okay, so again, I don't need, okay, that this person, is going to kind of just try to bring, is gonna try just to please me with like buying any kind of gifts, or I don't know, like a bunch of flowers. Okay, I'm not really interested in that, okay, but at least the consideration of like just texting me, hey baby, happy birthday, I hope you have a nice day, I love you, blah blah blah, okay, just the customary thing, okay, the usual thing, okay. So for me that would be very important, okay. And if this person happens to forget that, would that make me fall out with this person and just hold that against her eternally? Well, of course not, okay, but would I be upset? For sure. Moving to the fourth one. Do you ever talk about sex in your relationship? A, do you really need to talk about sex? Is that not something that happens spontaneously? B, let's face it, passion fades away. As time goes by, mutual understanding, respect, and confidence are much more important. Sex, what is that? The last time my partner and I had physical intimacy, Britney Spears still looked young and naive. And D, I think it is a good idea to have satisfying sexual relationships for a long time. And I think it is necessary to keep the flame alive. Otherwise, you don't know if we are doing that well in the sack. The sack, like, like when having sex, it's kind of slang. I would say, of course, D. Okay, so I think I'm so far doing D. Okay, yes, I'm the D guy. Yeah. Okay, I understand that for this to work out well, communication is going to be essential. Communication is going to be key, because I know that sometimes after couples move past this honeymoon phase, okay, and they no longer, like they feel, comfortable comfortable enough with each other, just not to have to, impress like the other person, like with their with their sexual antics, or their game. But so it's normal, okay, that when couples have moved past this initial honeymoon phase, the sexual frequency and intensity is likely to taper off a little bit. But that I think is inevitable, okay? So because like the sexual tension cannot go on forever. But I think that going to the other extreme and just turning into something like flatmates, okay, or being stuck in a sexless marriage or relationship, I think, I don't know, like that would be very boring, okay? And especially if you are a person that, because let's face it, when we invest in a long-term monogamous relationship, we are giving away a certain dose of variety, okay? I'm sure I understand this is going to sound preposterous, but it is true. It is true. And especially if you're a person that takes care of themselves and has cultivated somehow some sort of personality, and you are educated, or you're a person who tries to improve themselves. You are committed with self-improvement and educating yourself, and have some sort of charismatic or even interesting or even attractive personality. And if at the same time you take care of yourself physically and do not let yourself go, you are going to feel like, by investing in this relationship, okay, which you willingly willingly do, you're going to basically renounce, okay, to you're going to give up, okay, to some variety, okay? And if you feel like you could get this sexual gratification elsewhere outside your relationship, because let's face it, okay, one of the reasons why we get entangled, or we we get involved in a long-term or a romantic relationship, is to obtain some degree of sexual gratification. So if you think that you're missing that aspect out completely in your relationship, but you could get that outside your relationship, that is going to become a kind of uncomfortable, nagging thought in the back of your mind. It's going to be kind of like nagging you all the time and reminding you of how, of all the fun, okay, of all the the excitement that you could be finding somewhere else. So I don't think that you should get to that point. An obvious thing you can do when this honeymoon phase has passed is, well, take care of yourselves, okay? So make sure that that you look at your partner and she or he sexually arouses you, they turn you on, and you turn them on in return, okay? So you're kind of like, you're willing just to have some physical intimacy because you still see them as an attractive individual. And also, apart from that, I guess, like, you have to try to recreate those special moments that you had at the beginning. I don't know, like go on a date, okay? Do not completely neglect, okay, that aspect of just trying to keep the flame alive, try to rekindle the passion, and just try to keep the flame alive by going on dates or recreating this initial dates and romantic, I don't know, atmosphere, okay, that surrounded your dates when you start to get to know each other. That would be an interesting thing to do, in my view, of course, and just go out and just go out for dinner or have dinner at home, but just kind of like, create this sexy, sensual, romantic atmosphere. You choose the right playlist, some wine, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So that is it. So that is how I would personally, okay, answer this questionnaire. My answers might be different to your answers, but those I'm just trying to speak honestly. And I suggest whenever you're trying to learn or speak or be fluent in a foreign language, English in this case, I really suggest that you are extremely honest and sincere and really straightforward, okay, and basically speak your mind. You really say what you think, okay, because there's nothing wrong, okay, and just do not try to say something that the other person expects to hear, because if you say exactly what you think, if you speak your mind, you're gonna be much more involved, okay? So I'm not sure if my answers struck you as being mature, childish, kind of like shallow, superficial, but I was just being sincere, okay? And I suggest that you do the same. And that is it, guys. Okay, that's all for today's lesson. I will see you soon. And that is all, guys. Okay, make sure you get yourselves, okay, you grab a copy of the English Mastery and Speaking Mastery books. Okay, they're full of interesting, not only like fascinating and amazing, awesome topics, but also the language required to back up those conversations and make you and you turn you from turn from being an average intermediate speaker to have this completely badass rock star English skills. Okay, that is all. I will see you soon. Take care and much love, guys. See you soon.